Wanted to see if he could borrow you for just. Thank you so much.
Joshua Alcaraz. Who's here for Joshua Alcaraz?
That's Charles Gold.
I hear this. In La land as usual.
That's okay. How's it going?
It's
Where'd
going
you
great.
go?
How about yourself?
Oh, I can't complain. I'm currently alive.
Well, this makes two of us. I get
Yeah.
we're doing great, right?
Yeah. So where's your client?
I don't know, Judge. I haven't met this guy yet. I've 3 times, even when he was in jail, they didn't bring him over.
Is he in custody?
No, Judge.
No, they checked. He's not. He's on.
All right, so we have a violation report
That's what I understand.
and they don't know where he is.
That's my
But they
my
say
problem too,
he's-
Judge.
So Deputy Laura, can you check? Because they say that he's currently in custody on a misdemeanor case. We're just gonna double check before I do something.
Okay. Good weekend.
Yeah, I did, other than, LSU didn't win.
Oh, really?
I
I didn't know that.
We had our weekend spent here in jury trial.
Oh, really? Are y'all still in trial right now? Or?
No. We were here Friday, the jurors were sequestered. We were here Saturday. We were here Sunday.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was like,
Oh, no.
told the jury, I said, I was always like, I will never be a crazy judge who has people here over the weekend. But the only other choice we had was, and the jurors didn't want it, was they could be here, held over, sequestered Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and then we come back on Tuesday. And people have phone withdrawals,
Uh-huh.
so,
Yeah.
Judge, he's not in custody either.
okay. Let me send an email very quickly to pretrial services to make sure he's still not in custody. If not, then what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to issue a warrant.
Okay, I
And then once
understand.
they,
That's usually what happens when you don't show up to court, right, Judge?
Yes.
They'll put a warrant out for you.
yeah,
They'll get you there.
all right, so if you don't have anything else with
I have
us,
3 other clients.
Okay.
I have 4. I'm all over your.
okay, just give me a moment. Let me
No,
put-
but I'm fine. I'm in no rush. I'm still conferring on them and still.
Okay, all right, well, continue to confer and I'll
Thank you,
send this
Judge.
email out.
All right, thank you, Judge. I'll give her.
What's going on?
I don't know yet.
Oh, I know. Let me look at my notes. I think Andrew was gonna look into it.
Yes.
She coming down.
Brenda Carpenter. Who's the attorney for Brenda Carpenter? Morning.
Hi, Judge. My name's Freddie Reese. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Yes, I haven't seen you in a long time. Your Honor, no, not here. Just, you don't need her up here.
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't. Forgive me, Judge. Please pardon me.
No, no problem.
Okay. Judge, I'm gonna ask, Judge, I was down for like a couple of weeks,
Okay.
like with the cop. And so, Judge, with your permission, may I please extend the deadline for one setting? Because I was out.
Okay.
And I
Any
don't mean to
objection
be,
to the extension of the plea deadline date?
Yeah, Judge.
thank you very much.
You're
Your
welcome.
Honor.
Let me see what date.
Thank you, Ms. Shin, as well.
Norma,
Yeah.
if you can recall this back for December 2nd,
Yes, ma'am. Whatever you tell me, Your Honor.
All
Thank
right.
you.
for a plea deadline date,
Okay.
it's Carpenter.
Thank you. Yes.
All right, thank you. Thank you for addressing
I
the
salute you,
appropriate
Your Honor.
report.
Maybe excuse Your Honor.
Once she signs the reset form.
Judge, you mean-
Judge, just to
Okay,
clarify the second.
Yes,
That's
December
December.
2nd is the plea deadline date.
okay, thank you very much, Your Honor. Okay,
Great,
may I
you're
be excused?
welcome.
then?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
May I be excused?
You're welcome. Yes.
Brenda Carpenter? Oh, you'll take. Yeah. Her email address.
Yes, yes.
Arturo Villanueva.
There you go.
Good
Ahí
morning.
está.
Good morning.
Morning.
All right, today is jury trial day.
Yes.
All righty, so just hang around and we'll,
The state wanted time to look into one of the issues that we were discussing, Your Honor. That's what we discussed.
what issue?
It's come to the state's attention that there might be some discovery out there. Or the state would like to get.
All right, y'all need to call somebody. All right, thank you. They're not ready on Mr. Virginia Torres.
Your Honor, good morning.
Good morning. Where's your client?
So Judge, I'm approaching early. She is set for Thursday. And I have a magistrate conference up in Austin that day. I was wondering if we could do it on Monday.
Okay, let me just pull it up just 1 second.
Thank you, Judge.
And are you in contact with your client?
She's in custody, Judge.
Okay. Deputy Laura, on Velia Torres, that's gonna be recalled for the 18th. It's cause number 2023 CR 0290.
It's on Thursday's docket.
All right, thank
I do
you.
appreciate it, Judge. Thank
No
you.
problem. Jason, on cause number, it's not on the docket today, but it's cause number 2023 CR 0290. That's being reset to November 18th. Defense attorney is going to be at a CLE. You're welcome. Someone please make sure your phone is on silent. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, who's here on Steve Chavaria?
That'd be me, guys. We're ready.
All right, and is this an application?
This is, I believe, yes, an application for community supervision. There should be an agreement between the state and the defense on this.
All right, Ms. Abrams? This is an application? And there's only one case?
There's one case with others.
Case plea, Judge.
Exactly.
All right.
I can't be concise, it seems, today, Judge, and I'm speaking. I don't know, I'm like. Blah, 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 blah.
So, Marco, does he have other felony cases?
Yes, I have the paper of the.
All right, so if I can have those pages, please.
I'll wait to the front of the mic.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 009465, State of Texas versus Steve Chavarria. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Andrew K. Hicks for the defense.
And are you Mr. Chavarria?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
I have, Your Honor.
Did you review it with your client?
I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Chavarria, did you review the application for community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? Any objection?
No objections.
And Jason, I know you're doing several things, so it's okay if you want to remain at your desk and just announce from there.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Mr. Chavarria, did you review the admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand in count 1 and count 2, you're charged with possession of prohibited weapons? Each of those charges are third-degree felonies. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Mr. Chavarria, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, off the record for a moment. All right, we're back on the record. According to the plea bargain agreement, state is proceeding on counts 1 and 2. Punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison in each count. There is a $2,000 fine. State recommends community supervision. This will run concurrent with 731, 821, 727, 775. And the state will take in consideration AL 2169038, 2024 CR 007367. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
Other than some preliminary matters, no, Judge.
Outside the agreement, the state is asking that your community supervision in each count be for a term of 6 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to count one, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
To count two, how do you plead?
No contest, Your Honor.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1 with all the statutes.
All right, state, you may be excused.
Thank you.
All right, did you review the waiver and steps with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. Oh, off the record. Jason, this AL number, what is that AL number?
I didn't do the paperwork necessarily, Judge, but it's just another number.
Okay.
They have several now.
Okay.
Yeah, there's AL and I don't.
Okay. All right, thank you. We're back on the record. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same.
And Judge, we have no objections because I don't think we made that on the record.
All right, I'm so
No,
sorry.
no, that's okay, but we have no objections.
All right. And that you did review the waivers?
Yes.
And you understand that the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports?
Yes, ma'am.
But most importantly, there will be no live testimony?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, you still understand you have a right to jury trial?
Yes,
A
ma'am.
right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call?
Yes, ma'am.
And the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. A court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And the court will find you guilty in count 1 and count 2. Are you ready to proceed with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, Mr. Chavarria is 24 years old. He's the 24 years he's been on this earth has been unfortunately marred by some rather poor decisions. And so this one, I think, would probably fall into that category. He does still, however, have the rest of his life to go. And I've discussed with him how it would probably be in his best interest if he were to consider possibly doing some trades or maybe better his education. He does have his GED. He has taken some basic college courses, but I'd love to be able to see him move on from this, maybe associate with some better people. If he had been doing so beforehand, I don't think he'd be before the court here today. So anything that the court could do to possibly nudge him in that direction, I think would be most helpful, especially as it goes to possibly probating any fines and or applying any trade or education to his community supervision or his community service, I should say.
All right. Do you have any children?
No, ma'am, that's my son.
I'm sorry to hear that. So this address that's on Port Victoria, do you still live there? Know anybody there?
No, ma'am.
All right, and who is Jaime Sandoval to you?
Just a friend.
All right. So when's the last time you had employment?
I want to say towards the end of 2022, I was at Conduit. It's like customer service representative.
All right. So have you ever had any stable employment? And when I say stable, I mean worked at one place for more than a year.
I want to say yes, Your Honor, that I've been doing. And I think I was at Circle K for over a year.
Do you have any family here in San Antonio?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is your relationship like with them?
My father, I don't talk to him. Just on and off, in and out of my life. My mother, she's basically my backbone to me. She's always there for me, no matter what I'm going through. I mean, she's the only one that I really have, other than my grandma, which is sick at the moment.
All right, so you have any mental health issues in your past? Drug issues? Drug use?
Yes.
All right, what?
Marijuana,
And what else? All right, so why are you running from the police?
because I knew I had a blue warrant for my arrest with parole, and I was just, they gave me a roof to stay, so I stayed there.
You know, running never solves any problems. It just, at some point, you're gonna have to stop running. And then what I can tell you, not from personal experience, but just from what I've dealt with when I had clients, once the K9 is called in and they do the chopper, it's all over. There's no need to run. Even if you watch Cool Hand Luke, you know what ended up happening to them? Once they sent the dogs out, that's it. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court, as previously stated, is finding count one and count two, that there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Count one and count two will run concurrently. There's a $2,000 fine that will be probated. This will run concurrent with County Court Cause number 731-821, 727-775. Take in consideration AL 2169038, 2024 CR 007367. So how long were you in prison?
I think I was there for 4 years.
All right, any gang
Uh,
involvement while at the prison?
No, ma'am. Well, it wasn't prison. It was a Texas Youth Commission.
Ah, you really had a rough start.
Yes, ma'am.
Here's the thing, this is adult now, you're gonna have to get it together, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. Are we gonna have any issues with you testing positive? Because here's the thing, if you have a drug issue, tell me now. They can work out something to try to get you help. But if you're telling me you don't have issues, there will be no drug treatment for you. They'll just do a TAP evaluation. And if you turn out testing positive, that's a violation of your probation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, who would you be staying with?
My mother?
Have you picked up the phone and asked her if you can stay?
Yes, I talked to her on a daily.
Okay. Some people just assume.
No, no, ma'am.
And if you're gonna be living with your mother, which you're telling me you are, something that you need to remember, that's her house. If she has curfew for you, you need to follow those rules. If you don't want a curfew, then you have to find your own place. There's to be no contact with Jaime Sandoval. And no contact with 9253 Port Victoria. And that's in San Antonio, Texas. The court will sentence you to 6 years in prison in each count, suspended and probated for 6 years. There will be field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. 180 hours of community service restitution. What's your dream job?
Man, it's gonna sound crazy, but.
Oh, nothing's
heart
crazy.
surgery.
I'm sorry, what?
Heart surgery.
All right, so what are you planning on doing to do that?
I mean, I took into consideration to go to college for it, but I really never took a step towards it once I finished my basics in college.
Okay, so here's the thing. If that's what you want to do, you made your life difficult by having these cases, but it still can be accomplished. But just saying this is your dream and not taking any action, it does you no good. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm gonna order 180 hour, no, strike that. I'm gonna order 300 hours of community service restitution. And that will be considered satisfied if you obtain a higher level of education. So you're improving yourself. And I think when people improve themselves, they improve the community. So either you can get a higher level education, which would be work towards your doctorate degree, so you can be a doctor, or if you obtain some sort of trade school certification. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because these are felony convictions in each count, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. If you get into more trouble, violate your probation, you're looking up to 6 years in the prison. You still have a chance. You're young. You still have a chance to turn your life around. If you truly want to be a heart surgeon, guess what? If you're great at it, they will overlook this. But you cannot pick up any new offenses, and you've got to be on the straight and narrow. You've made it difficult, but anything worth having is difficult. So you'll just need to make sure that you have character witnesses. And if you do well on probation, I'm sure your probation officer will write a note for you. If you graduate, I'll show up at your graduation and be like, that's the doctor. But when you graduate top of your class and they say, who should I thank for this? Just mention my name. That's not my mom, it's Stephanie.
You better invite me.
Yeah.
So.
All right, well, good luck to you. If you need anything, let probation know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Hey, Your Honor, may we be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
There's that.
You done?
You're welcome. And then-
Audits.
Norman, have them up here by 11:30.
You're on 23, 54.
5460.
You? Thank you, Judge.
All right, who's here on Mark Anthony Morgan? Yes.
Yes.
Hello. All right, you all are scheduled for jury trial?
Yes, Your Honor, ready for trial.
All right, thank you. We'll see you back here at 11:30.
Sounds good, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Trevor Morse.
Yes, Your Honor. Present on that one as well.
All right. All right, on this one, I show that the surveillance video had been uploaded.
Yes, Your Honor. I went over it and I do have access to it. Although it doesn't have much material value, we are in possession of that, Judge, and we believe that all evidence has been turned over at this point in time. My client does want to proceed with jury trial.
All right. All right, we'll see y'all back at 11:30.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you. Mario Vargas. Oh, we're waiting for them. Zion Taylor.
Morning.
Good morning.
We were devastated by LSU's.
Hmm?
We were devastated by LSU's.
You know, are you all really devastated? Or are you all just like Alabama a little bit less? That's
I
the
don't think I
question.
could like Alabama any less. So yes, the answer is yes.
All right, Mr. Taylor. You were late for court. Why?
My car front, there's a ball that comes off my car and it starts shaking when I'm driving, so I have to change cars for my little brother.
All right, so here's the thing. You can't be late for court anymore, okay?
Just know.
Thank you for dressing appropriately. Where are we on discovery?
Judge, we filed a continuance and actually another motion, but I spoke with one of the potential witnesses in this case yesterday. Finally, it looks like there may be some discovery issues outstanding. I talked to Mr. Adiola about that earlier today, Judge. Our investigator that the court has appointed has already started working on that, Judge. So that's one of our issues today, Judge. Well, that's a primary issue, Judge.
Okay.
The other issue, Judge, is that the court-appointed investigator needs more money. So I filed a motion for additional funds and the continuance also.
All right, so first things first. I have a motion to withdraw.
The court ruled on that at the last setting, Judge.
Okay, I don't know why this is in here. Let me see.
And maybe even a couple days before.
Yeah,
that,
it
Judge.
was.
It was a few days
So,
before.
well,
the
that
last
was
setting.
ruled on in September. I don't know why.
Yes.
All right, it's already been ruled on. All right, now, can you pull for me his investigators asking for more funds? Could you pull that for me?
It
please?
hasn't been accepted yet, Judge, but I bought a copy for the court.
All right, thank you.
The court initially authorized $1,000. He's asking for another $750. And it's a second-degree case, Judge.
All right, so what is the discovery specifically?
It appears that the law enforcement was, okay, give the court a little history. The location where the incident occurred, that Mr. Zion is being accused of having committed an offense there, there was a prior location where, and it appears another incident had occurred between one of the witnesses and the complaining.
All right,
witnesses that
everyone,
led to
please
all of this.
whisper. Yes.
So it was immediately prior to, and was, in our opinion, probably something that affected and probably caused what happened later on. It's in a weird little area of town where it could be Converse, it could be San Antonio, it could be, I think Live Oak, it could be Bear County, it could be Guadalupe County.
So
The
I'm
investigator has
just trying to
narrowed that
figure out
down.
specifically, is there some discovery that the state has that you don't have?
They don't have it, Judge.
All
they
right,
don't
so what specifically do you want?
What I want, Judge, is the investigator a time and an opportunity to get what he's already believes he's requested, yes, that's what it is. We're assuming that there's an actual police report and an actual 911 call.
And this is from a prior incident?
It's from the incident that preceded this particular incident.
All right, state,
a
you
few
should have
months.
those documents. So they need the police report and the 911 call from a prior incident. And is it involving the same parties allegedly?
Two of the three same parties, Judge, yes, and there's no mention of it by any witness in any of the reports or videos. And we learned about it when I spoke to one of the witnesses last time.
All right, state, how long is it going to take you to get that information to the defense?
It would ask for 30 days.
All right, Norma, recall this back on December 16th for discovery. All right, is there anything else?
No, yeah, Judge, I don't know if the court needed a continuance, but I filed one anyway.
Yeah, because I mean, we're here for discovery. I mean, unless you just want to burn a continuance.
No, I just,
Yeah.
caution, Judge.
No.
Okay.
All right, so don't be late for court again.
So,
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you.
And counsel, if you let the state know, if you want to let them know what specific police reports and 911 calls you want, it should be in their system somewhere.
I'll let my investigator do his thing, and if he doesn't find it, then I'll reach out.
All
to
right,
the
it
state.
needs to be done by December 16th.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank
All right.
you.
Thank you, Judge.
Good morning. We have some paperwork.
Oh, Judge.
Yes.
Same thing we do with Alabama goes with Georgia.
Yeah.
My nephew's in Georgia.
Oh, my gosh.
No, has any sense.
Which case are you going on?
We'll go on, working on, our Lisa Bell.
And we're ready. It's gonna be over. Send it to you.
Let's hear on Jeffrey Flores. Okay. All right. Jeffrey Flores?
Yeah, he's in custody, Judge. I don't know if he's out there.
Okay. Well,
His client is at the hospital, so he's not.
But Judge, we just
So-
have an agreement on a bond.
all right, if you want to have the hearing without his.
Yes,
presence-
we can do that.
All right. How's it going?
It is going good.
Yeah.
My wife wants to know what you want for Thanksgiving. I was giving you away.
What's sorry, so hi.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay, I'm sorry.
he's doing Jeffrey Flores.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
Lopez is the one that's.
Yeah, Eric Jones.
Oh, that's my other
Ah.
crazy nut. Oh,
All right, so let's do Lopez first, if he's on
Okay.
the docket, and then we'll take Flores up and then bring him out.
all right. Sounds good.
All right, who's here on Celeste Juarez?
I am, Your Honor, may I?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Where's your client?
She's making her way up, Your Honor.
Okay.
Slide.
Where are we on discovery?
Judge, the first issue with discovery, and I had presented this earlier, but we had the wrong title on it when I'd come in earlier this week. It should be appropriate now.
Okay.
This is the protective order for,
And have you reviewed the protective order?
I have, Judge.
Any objections to the court signing it?
No objections, Judge. I do have a copy prepared to hand over to Vince.
Well, you know, I don't like to sign things with blanks, so there's a blank there.
and Judge, I left that blank. I think we had one issue of outstanding, and I think that the state wanted to confer with you about that timeline, and I didn't want to presume anything.
Okay,
So, Judge, we have one copy of DFPS records here, but there are additional records we anticipate getting. We've requested them regarding the schools. DFPS records, so it was a out-of-school district, so anything that was made from the school, we are waiting on those records.
all right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cross that line out. I'm gonna give you all another date to be back here. And then if there's some issues with the CPS records not being available, then I'm gonna give you a time.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, so if y'all can initial that, please.
Yes, Judge.
So the CPS records is the only thing that we're waiting?
No, Your Honor.
There were a couple of things that defense brought up that they wanted us to check on as to whether or not they existed, something about a statement as well as whether there were any dispatch records or anything, since it's from a school district. We're not entirely sure, but I did send out an email to verify if that stuff exists. And then there were, I believe it was the victim's school record as well that were asked.
All right, so one, we need the complainant school records. Is that what you're requesting?
Yes, Judge.
All right, I will tell you all, we were here September for school records. This is the last reset for school records that the court has given.
Understand, Judge, and we did request those. Apologize for not having them for today, so in the setting, but we have requested them and we'll follow up before the next setting.
All right, so maybe additional CPS records, correct?
Yes, Judge.
So school records, CPS records, what else?
Judge, there's no IDR or dispatch, there's no IDR included in the reports that we've had, is my understanding. And I don't know if every agency calls it the same, but there is a type of incident detail report. We have nothing.
All right, so here's the thing. We were last here on September 22nd for the IDR. This is the last time we're gonna have a discovery issue on that. So what else?
The dispatch records and calls for service, which that could be the same thing.
Okay.
But we don't have anything like that. There is a reference to a statement made by the school nurse. The state has represented that she thinks it's in reference to the school records, for lack of a better word, or the nurse's note in the school records, but it's our belief that it says a statement, and there's no confirmation of which way that is, so we're looking for that as well.
All right, anything else?
Nothing else.
All right. So this is coming back. Norma? Recall this for December 20th. Yes. And let me find you on the docket. All right, why were you late?
There was a large line outside. I was waiting.
All right, so here's the thing, you have to be on time for court, you understand?
Yeah.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. You're welcome.
Take your coffee. And then I'll upload that in the edict. If you have family members here, they're gonna be at the step out. It should be on it, but it's not just. Yeah, I'm not.
Good morning.
Yeah, she hasn't given it to me yet. I don't. Here's.
No. Notice in here, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
All right, Flores. All right, Jeffrey Flores, if you come down. All right, court is calling Night Mag number 741254, State of Texas versus Jeffrey Flores. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Gary Chirek for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Flores? All right, so that the state can continue conferring. My understanding states you have an agreement you've reached on a bond,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and what is the state recommending?
5,000, Your Honor. We did bond, and not figure that.
All right, thank you. You may be excused.
Oh, you have an order? You have it, Judge? Okay.
All right, so no. We're still on the record.
We're still here.
No problem. So why was your bond previously revoked?
I'm working at that time. I was working in the oil fields, and I had a rubber stick on the what was it?
Judge, he had a misdemeanor, had court for an attorney, wasn't advised of the setting. Judge Ramon, I think the county court 8 pulled his bond there and it's caused the bondsman to go off bond. So he went off bond, basically.
All right.
No work, you.
So I need you to stop speaking because the court reporter takes down everything.
Yeah.
And when you're whispering, it makes it difficult for her. All right, so his previous bond here was 5,000. Have you talked to the bondsman? Does the bondsman just want his bond reinstated or no?
No, it's been so far, I haven't talked to him. I think just setting a new bond will be the easiest.
Okay. All right. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jeffrey, Flores.
All right, Mr. Flores, have you ever had any type of mental health diagnosis where you had to take medication or somebody took you to see a psychiatrist?
No.
Have you ever used any type of drugs in the past?
Oh, yeah.
All right, what?
I use weed, really.
All right. So I'm going to set his bond at $5,000. I'm going to order drug testing. I'm going to ask that the fees are waived. And because you are, I guess he'll be working in the fields still.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So because he's doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to order 90 sober meetings in 90 days. And that, if you're working in the field, they have them all over Texas. But if you're offshore, they have it where you can do it by video as well.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else you need to be successful on bond?
Not in the moment I can think of, no.
All right. If there's something that you need, because you're going to be doing this through pretrial services, if you think it gets too much, maybe you're suffering from depression or whatever, let them know, or either you can come back to the court and I can give you some conditions to get you the help that you need.
Okay.
All right, make sure that you report when you're supposed to report.
For sure.
The next time you have a hearing on this case will be when it's indicted, if they indict it. Otherwise, whenever your attorney wants it brought back. You understand?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
All right.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
You're welcome. All right, Deputy Laura, we're finished with Flores.
And then we have Lopez, Judge, that you got.
Okay, yes, I'll take that up. Just let me put this in the system.
Say.
Deputy Laura, what page is Flores on?
Is it page 10?
All right, thank you.
How are you?
Okay.
All right, Michael Jones. Eric Michael Jones. I missed the first name. Where is he?
Your Honor, my client is going to accept the plea offer. However, he's appearing via Zoom.
Okay.
The state needs to get plea paperwork to me. I am scheduled to be back in your court on Thursday, and I get a short 2-day reset so I can coordinate with my client.
Yes,
I appreciate you, Judge.
you're welcome. Ms. Ferguson. Yeah. Eric Michael Jones is going to be a plea. Is this a agreed probation offer?
Yes, Judge. It's an application for deferred.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, he can do it by Zoom.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And we'll come back on the 14th.
Excellent. I appreciate you, Your Honor.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Norma.
Thank you.
May I be excused, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right, stay on Jones. If you have the plea paperwork ready on Thursday for a Zoom plea. Thank you.
I'll email you today, brother. Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Judge.
You're welcome. No chips.
We've done bring some good.
Signature in the bottom.
All right, and what page is he on?
He's on the first page, Judge.
Oh, all right, thank you. Jose Escalon.
I think we've, I've talked to the state.
Mhm.
I'm Mr. Escalon here, and, I think we're gonna apply for PTD. Have the application in my hand, I need to go turn it in.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a date for PTD. All right, and you need to make sure that you're on time for court and everything. You understand?
Yes.
All right.
There was a bit of a line outside this morning.
Oh, okay.
December 12th.
All right, we'll see you back on December 12th and council. All of the paperwork will need to be in by that time.
Yeah, I'm turning it in right now today, Judge. I just want to make sure that I have a funny feeling I'm doing something on the 12th, but I don't know.
Okay.
So I don't want to lie.
Nah,
12,
cannot tell a lie.
right? Okay, I'll be here. I can be here.
All right, so we'll see you back on December 12th.
You need anything for that? Understand to be here? You need a piece of paper?
Oh, no, she'll give him a piece of paper.
Okay, good. And is this, so here we cannot keep this one? All right, thank you.
Jose Lopez. Where's Mr. Lopez?
In the hospital, I
Ah,
understand.
okay. So he's scheduled for jury trial today. State. Deputy Loris told me that Mr. Lopez is in the hospital. So unless y'all want to go to trial with him in the hospital, we can't do it.
No, I would think not. No, I just found that out today. so
Yeah.
I wouldn't-
All right,
Thank
Deputy Laura, do you have an update on why he's in the hospital?
But Mr.
Oh, I said, did
He
he
knows.
try to commit suicide? I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right, then what we'll do, Norma, on Mr. Lopez, let's bring him back on December 9th. We'll just see where we are.
All right. You'll put that on the computer for me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
There we go.
Sorry, you said later you go, you'll born. No, that's it. Okay, just making sure. Yes, really? Yes, sorry. Okay, check right there. See you.
All right, Pellegrini.
Ready, all right.
All right. Court is calling 2024 CR 007495, State of Texas versus Dennis Paul Pellegrini. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Peter Calderola for Mr. Pellegrini, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Pellegrini?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and state, you may answer from your desk because I know you're multitasking. All right. Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so, this is odd. We're off the record for a moment. So on this case with Mr. Pellegrini,
Yes, Judge, we're here for sentencing today.
all right, this is
PSI
like
was
marked
ordered.
at, not marked as sentencing, it's been marked as a plea.
I believe the plea was entered into on 9/19, Your Honor,
All
in front
right,
of Judge Angelini.
okay. All right. We're back on the record. Mr. Pellegrini, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Dennis Paul Pellegrini Jr.
All right, Mr. Pellegrini, when you entered a plea in this case with Judge Angelini, how did you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
All right. All right, just give me a moment to review the stipulations, just so that the record can be clear. All right, I know it was previously done by Judge Angelini, but the court has reviewed the PSI report. The court has reviewed the waiver and consent to stipulations. Court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. All right. Defense, did you have a chance to review the TAP evaluation and the PSI report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objections, Judge.
Right. All right, according to your plea bargain agreement, Mr. Pellegrini, punishment was to be assessed at 10 years in the prison. There's $1,000 fine. The state is recommending community supervision. They're going to ask that your community supervision be for a term of 7 years. And there are other things that are outside the agreement. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client? Do you have any witnesses?
No witnesses today, Judge. The only condition that we are asking the court order in lieu of the 10-day sanction, we're asking the court order Mr. Pellegrini to be allowed to participate in the Bear Gives Back program as to not interfere with his occupation. He is paying child support currently, Judge.
All right. State, do you have any witnesses in this case?
There you go.
All right, thank you. You may be excused. All right, so I normally will have you do community service hours, but because this is a DWI, what I require in lieu of the Bear County Jail, because I understand that you're working and you're supporting your children, I require GPS. And if you want to continue to work, I'll require GPS for 30 days. You'll be allowed to go to work. You'll be allowed to participate in whatever custody arrangements or agreements you have with your children. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So would you prefer the GPS, or you can do 10 days in the Bear County Jail and that would be straight time? It's completely up to you. Those are your two options.
I would prefer the GPS, Your Honor.
All right. And what is happening with the UCW case?
Judge, we are gonna proceed to county court for as soon as we're done with this case here.
All right. This is what the court will do. Court will sentence you to 10 years in the prison. It will be suspended and probated for 7 years. There's to be $1,000 fine. That will be probated. Ignition interlock for half the term. There's to be a 2-year driver's license suspension. $60 restitution to DPS for blood draw. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. There's going to be 30 days partial GPS for employment and child custody issues in lieu of the 10 days at the Bexar County Jail. There should be 150 hours of community service restitution. Once you complete parenting classes, that will be deemed satisfied. There's going to be 90 sober support meetings in 90 days. Intensive outpatient treatment with probation, and that's the recommendation from the TAP evaluation. DWI education course, victim impact panel live.
And Your Honor, my client has already completed the victim impact panel.
Right, you need to turn that over to probation. Proof of employment within 30 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Now, with regards to the GPS, court is not able to waive those fees unless he does GPS through the Bexar County Jail, which would mean he'd have to go to the Bexar County Jail. So you can either go to the Bexar County Jail and be processed at the Bexar County Jail for GPS, or either you're going to have to pay for it.
I would be able to pay for it on my own.
All right. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? Thank you. Field visits 1 time per month for 6 months.
And I need to know how long you're going to give him to get the GPS.
How long do you need for him to be fitted with? All right, so you're to have GPS within 10 days. And let me see. I won't count today as a starting date for the 10 days.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, he needs to have it no later than November 26th. Anything else, probation? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful on this probation?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own, possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. How old are you, sir?
53.
All right, and how old are your children?
I have 2 children. One is an adult and one is a minor.
All right, so here's the thing. Drinking, you're one of those people who obviously you can't drink at all because there's an issue of you stopping. Anything can happen when you drink and then you start driving. People can be killed. And then this will be a whole different story where you be crying. So if you can imagine in your case, if somebody else was out drinking and driving and maybe your children are just on their way to their soccer game, or they're just got their driver's license and they're being very careful, and somebody who's intoxicated hits them. That could be you, you know? So don't drink, because you just can't drink at all. You understand?
Understand.
All right, in this court, communication is key to be successful on probation. If you have an issue, let probation know. If for any reason you feel like, hey, I need more help with my alcohol issues, let them know. You will not be penalized for seeking more help because we want you to be successful. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes, probation will go over conditions with you. You guys don't park in the box. Thank you. Guerrero? Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Which door first?
Yes.
Ron, I was just checking to see if I have time to go check in with 186. I have an MTR. But I know you, looks like I was super busy.
Let's take up your MTR because we have a jury coming up at 11:30.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right, thank you. That's Pellegrini.
Judge?
What page is Pellegrini on?
11.
All right, thank you. Marilisa Bell. Court is calling 2022 CR 8626A, State of Texas versus Marilisa Janelle Bell. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Attorney Bill Simmons for defense.
And are you Miss Bell?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Excuse me, no talking behind the court reporter while we're on the record?
Yes.
And did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Marilisa Janelle Bell who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 8626A for the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on December 1st, 2022 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violation of condition number 4, in Bear County, Texas, the defendant, Marlissa Janelle Bell, the then and there failed to report the supervision officer as directed for the month of June 2024 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
On the supplemental motion, violation of condition
Well,
number
just
6.
1 second. Court does not have a supplemental motion. Who has the supplemental motion? Did you review the supplemental motion with your attorney? Did you understand that motion?
What we're talking.
Yes.
Yes. That's what we discussed. We won't push.
All right, did you review the supplemental motion?
Yes, Judge, we did review.
All right, you may proceed, state.
Violation condition number 16, on or about the 19th day of July, 2024, in Bear County, Texas. The defendant, Marlisa Janelle Bell, did then and there contact or attempt to contact Jacob Ziegler in person in violation of condition number 16.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Get away with the other allegations.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violations 4 and 6, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you to 4 years in the prison?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation 4 and 16? I can't hear you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. You
Your Honor, she-
understand that
just-
if,
Well, I'm sorry, Judge.
yes,
Just for the courts, if the court hasn't noticed, she is 7 months pregnant, so that's kind of why she's little, she's here,
I'm here.
but just tired, I guess.
oh, well, I noticed, yeah, I noticed she's in yellow.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you do understand if you have some sort of proposed agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow that agreement. Do you understand? Yes, do you understand I can revoke you and send you to prison for 4 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that the fact that you're currently pregnant plays no role in that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So is there a proposed agreement?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
It's requesting revocation.
Defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, we're asking the court to give, she has, we're asking the court to continue her on her probation. She does have some new cases that she was charged with in Comal County. However, she is on PR bond for those because they were not indicted in the proper amount of time. And also, without getting into the facts of those, but she was in the car with someone else. And it's my understanding in my conversations with her that they're making verification of that and that they may or may not be proceeding with that, Judge, but I do not want to represent to the court that I anticipate them being dismissed because I simply cannot say that at this time. Would that be accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but but we are asking the court to take, given that she did so well on the first year of this probation, if the court looks at her MTR, she didn't have any failed tests. She did successfully complete her her intensive outpatient treatment. She has that certificate. We verified that with probation. She's also expressed a willingness to me that she would like to possibly get some additional treatment. But given her condition, it's my understanding that at this time, she wouldn't be accepted into safety or one of those at this time. And so what we're asking the court at this time to do is to continue her and possibly follow up with her sometime around February to see where they stand with the cases in Comal. She did plead true to not reporting in June, which is true. She did not report in June. But again, she kind of fell off the wagon and also made contact with the gentleman that she was ordered not to make contact with. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that kind of fell, but that also seems to have resulted in a pregnancy. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we're leaving ourselves to the mercy of the court, but she is a motivated probationer. She did fall off the wagon. Where she's been since May is in the Comal County Jail. There was a warrant put out by this court. They brought her over here. And so we're asking the court to give consideration to continuing her on her probation. In the absence of that, we would ask the court to consider adjudicating her and continuing on her probation.
All right.
But we are leaving it to the court.
All right, any objection to the court reviewing the court summary?
No, Your Honor.
All right, do you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. So the court ordered that you have no contact with Jacob Ziegler. Why are you having contact with him?
He reached out to me.
I'm sorry, what?
He reached out to me and I shouldn't have, but I did, and I'm sorry.
No. There's no need to apologize. So he reached out to you and you knew you were looking at 4 years prison time, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you did a weighing of you did a balancing test and you said, I can't have contact with Jacob Ziegler. And if I do, I'm looking at 4 years in prison, but he's worth it. And then according to the court summary, your brother-in-law is taking care, I guess your brother-in-law and his wife are taking care of two of your children. Is that correct?
My brother-in-law, no, it's my aunt.
Oh, okay. So your aunt is taking care of two of your children.
Three, actually.
Three?
Yes, ma'am.
So you have three children. You're not taking care of them,
Not
but you,
but I have had them, I had them the whole time I was on probation.
but you, no, because it says here, on July 17th, the field team conducted a field visit and spoke to Miss Bell's brother-in-law, who stated they had not seen or heard from Miss Bell in over 2 months and had been trying to locate her with no success. Mrs. Bell's brother-in-law also stated that they had been caring for Mrs. Bell's two children since she left the home.
Hey, I'm confused on who my brother-in-law is.
Okay.
The name is there.
No, the name is not there. But suffice it to say, they've been looking for you for 2 months. So for 2 months, if your children were depending on you to provide them with food so they can live, they would have just starved to death.
No, ma'am, no, ma'am. When I fell off, I called my aunt and I let her know. They've been taken care of.
You call your aunt and let her know, I'm gonna go be with this Jacob person because he reached out to me.
No, I let her know that I messed up and that, I did get, I did do it, I did drugs and I was scared and that I didn't want to be around my children that way.
All right, so basically what that means is financially, you were not supporting your children. And if your children were dependent upon you to live, they would not have survived because you're not providing them support. You're just making all of these bad decisions and somebody else is paying for your bad decisions. They're supporting your children. Now you went off with this Jacob person that there was supposed to be no contact with. And the only thing that you've come back with is pregnant with his child. And for the court to say that you to have no contact with him, obviously he was not a good person to be in your life. All right. So the court is finding violations 4 and 6 true. The court is going to grant the motion, revoke you. And the court is going to sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with Jacob Ziegler. And there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes,
Yes.
that's the appeal form.
All right, you have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on community supervision. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. I'll recommend the therapeutic community for her. I have no jurisdiction to place you in the therapeutic community, but if you ask for it, they will place you in it. Oh, just ask at the prison and let them know. All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Everybody wants little babies when they're born because they're so cute. So you had better reach out to your family because Child Protective Services is going to come knocking at the prison. So unless you have someone,
Yeah.
all right, so you need to let your aunt know and counsel if you can get in contact with her aunt because time when that baby is delivered, she needs to have somebody there that's been pre-approved by Child Protective Services to take the child. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Waiver excuse, Your Honor.
Yes. All right. Guadalupe Rodriguez.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. So is this a plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there an application?
Yes, Your Honor. It's a recommended.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 009515, State of Texas versus Guadalupe Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Eric Baker for Mr. Rodriguez, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, I am, Judge.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Rodriguez, did you review the application for community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
All right, your client needs to sign that. Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, so waived, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? It appears that you're proceeding on count 2 only. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
And waiving count 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Rodriguez, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney?
Yes, I did, Judge.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
I believe so, yes, ma'am.
Did you understand in count 2, you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4,200 grams, that's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Rodriguez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Judge.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, I am, Judge.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, state is proceeding on count 2. Punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison. The state is recommending community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years, and there be 200 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offense as charged and count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
State offers case exhibit 1 with attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. State, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Judge.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We request to do so, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, other than he fully understands the court's going to impose conditions of probation in order to help him succeed, and he's told me that he's willing to do whatever the court feels is necessary.
All right. Do you have any children?
No, ma'am,
If you're released, who would you be staying with?
with one of my parents.
Did you ask her if you could stay with her?
Yes, ma'am.
When's the last time you had employment?
February of this year,
Doing what?
construction.
All right. How often have you been using?
Probably like 3 months.
All right. Heavy using?
It started getting to the point when then I got caught, so.
Okay. Do you have any gang affiliation?
No, ma'am.
How far did you go in school?
Got my GED.
What are you planning on doing with that? Just continuing with construction?
I was going to drive trucks. I was gonna try to go in that route.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. TAP evaluation and a referral to felony drug court in custody. Follow recommendations of TAP if not accepted in felony drug court. Proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home health care provider with minors. 200 hours of community service restitution. The court will waive those hours if you obtain your CDL or something else that you're intending to do. Before you do that, you may want to check to see if this is going to hinder you from getting your CDL license. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month for 6 months and 120 sober meetings in 120 days. And there's to be no contact with 3435 Fredericksburg Road.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's to be no contact with Olga Bias, Bais. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Random regular UAs, Judge. Thank you. Regular random UAs. Anything else? Okay. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, Judge, thank you.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. In this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If you have an issue, let probation know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court. I will tell you that felony drug court is a good program. If for some reason you're not accepted, then you'll follow through the recommendations of the TAP evaluation. But if you're accepted in felony drug court, you graduate, I'll come to your graduation, okay?
How does that work?
Your attorney will explain it to you. All right, good luck to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Who's here on Joshua Alcaraz?
I think that's what he called
Mhm.
he wasn't here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna see.
I think you put a warrant out already for him.
No, I haven't. Let me see.
You were supposed to.
No, I was waiting for them to tell me that. Yeah, they haven't had any contact with him.
The pretrial services.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. All right, then we'll issue the warrant.
Good.
Marco, you have something coming on with printer. If you could pull that for me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Oh, do you have a stapler?
Yes, sir.
All right, Samantha Venegas.
May I address the court?
Yes.
Ms. Venegas would like to hire her own attorney.
All right. Then you'll need to be back here this afternoon.
Well, I didn't mean like hire one right now, ma'am. I feel, even if I get another court appointed attorney, I feel, he, I feel like he just wants me off his case, so that's how I feel, and, he hasn't done nothing for me.
Well, let me
to
just
help
tell
me.
you, let me stop you right there.
Yes, ma'am.
So in this cases, it's sort of like in sports. We shouldn't be dealing with feelings. We're just dealing with facts.
Yes, ma'am.
These are the facts. And I'm speaking to you from a person who's been a defense attorney and a person who's been a prosecutor. Sometimes we want our attorneys to be touchy-feely. We want them to sit down, walk us through everything, hold our hands. There are some attorneys who will do that. There are some attorneys who will be your secretary. They will get your calendar together for you, call you and say, remember, you have a court setting, please be here. Other attorneys, they don't do that. Now, what I can tell you, your attorney has no duty to call you and tell you there's a court setting unless they change your court setting. Otherwise, everybody knows when their setting is. With your cases in this court, I require that your attorney receive all discovery. He's received all discovery. Then I require that the state give an offer. State has tendered an offer. You can either accept it or reject it. Here's the thing, your attorney can't force the state to give you something that you want. If you want your case to dismiss, your attorney can present information to the state the reason he thinks it can be dismissed. They still can say, yeah, we're not dismissing it. This is what we're offering. That's where we are. So we will have you back here at 1:30.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, what page is Venegas on? And Ms. Venegas, you were late for court. You were late for court today. Don't be late coming back. Daniel Guerrero?
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Yes. Oh, we're on the record. Oh,
Just so you know, we also had to.
okay. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 5927, State of Texas versus Daniel Guerrero. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ashley Jones.
Defense?
Attorney Albert Osvaldo for Mr. Guerrero.
And are you Daniel Guerrero?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review it with your client?
I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Did you review the application for deferred adjudication or community supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm sorry, did you review the true bill of indictment?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are not, Judge.
All right, what are you proceeding on?
State is going to proceed on the lesser included offense of criminal trespass for count 1, paragraph A. The state will waive paragraph B and count 2.
No objections, Your Honor.
Additionally, Judge, we did amend the indictment language to reflect the language for criminal trespass.
All right, any objections to the waivers?
No objections, Your Honor.
Any objection to the amendment of the indictment?
None, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Guerrero, do you understand that the state is asking to amend the indictment and that's a substantive change to the indictment? And that your counsel has 10 days to prepare for trial? Knowing that, do you still wish to proceed?
Yes.
And defense, you're waiving your 10 days notice?
I am waiving my 10 days, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Guerrero, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on criminal trespass as a Class A misdemeanor?
Yes, ma'am.
Range of minor punishment is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Guerrero, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, state is proceeding on count 1, paragraph A, the lesser included offense of criminal trespass. There's a $500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
None, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There'll be 40 hours of community service restitution, no harmful or injurious contact with Daniel Morales, and anger managements in the TAP evaluation. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the lesser included offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor, State Office States Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objections, Your Honor.
All right. And state, have you spoken with the complainant?
We have, Your Honor.
And what is their request with regards to contact?
They do want contact so that they could attend family functions together and not have that.
All right, thank you. Maybe excuse.
Thank you.
Did you review the waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there would be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding you guilty as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge, I've been provided some character letters on behalf of Mr. Guerrero. If you mind reviewing some of these for him?
Sure. Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. And just argument brief, Judge.
All right, court will hear argument.
Judge, just ask that you follow the plea bargain agreement. Since I've been hired to represent Mr. Guerrero,
All right, everyone whisper.
he's taken ownership and responsibility for this incident. He's very remorseful just from conversating with him. He owns a company or he's a partner with the company at Texas Sprinkler Pros. He's been doing that for 3 to 4 years. He's hoping to get his irrigation license. And this obviously could have had an adverse effect on it. So he's fortunate and he's asking you to follow that plea bargain agreement and show you that he can complete anything that you order, Judge. I don't think there's going to be any issues as far as following any terms of this probation, and you won't see him again.
All right, so I'm assuming you go over because you think that your stepsister is being abused.
Not actually. I was thinking that they were having financial issues. That's the reason why I went.
No, that's not what it says, because how does I think they're having financial issues comes to you breaking into a home? And I know you all are just going on criminal trespass, but the police report is you broke into the home.
Yes, ma'am. So originally I went with the intent to see how they were doing with the financial situation, but then he mentioned to me that about the abuse situation. So he just mentioned that my parents had a message that implicated him with abusing her, and that's when I asked, is she okay?
No. The way this reads is per the caller, your stepsister says her brother stormed into their home and attacked her husband. So this is all before you go over there, as you say, and talk about they may be having financial issues. If somebody's having financial issues, I don't understand why there's a storm into their house unless, did they not have a phone for you to call?
No, I did attempt to call her. She didn't answer.
So how bad is a financial issue that you're calling somebody on the phone and they don't answer? So therefore you storm over to their house, because that's what it says. It says, Daniel stated that his brother-in-law showed up uninvited, forced his way into the home after a verbal argument outside, physically assaulted him, and then choked him before leaving the scene. So nowhere in here does it say, oh, we're just talking about money. Nobody gets this upset over money unless somebody owes you money. And even then, I don't know why you're getting upset with that. When you lend money to relatives and friends, you need to realize that's a gift. And if they give it back to you, great. If they don't, they don't. So this is not about financial. It says you forced your way into the home. And it says that he was preparing to shut the door, but you prevented him from closing the door by placing your foot in the doorway. You must have been very angry with that, because somebody slamming a door on your foot is painful. and it says you push your way inside the home without permission. Then y'all are rolling around on the ground fighting. And then your sister is there and has to call the police. So let's start again. So what happened? Like, why did you rush over to the house?
I'm the type of person that wants to be there for people I care about.
So are you still, let me just stop you there. Are you still sticking with this thing? I rushed over the house because I thought they had financial difficulties.
No,
All right, so why are you rushing over to the house?
to check on my sister,
All right, so who called you and said there was an issue with your sister?
my father or my dad.
All right, so he calls you and tells you what?
He tells me that they had went over previously, they couldn't see her. So he let me know that what's the issue with her, that she's not been healthy, that she had to go to the hospital, so kind of made me worry.
Why didn't you just pick up the phone and call the police and ask them to do a welfare check? You know they do that.
Yes, I wasn't thinking about that.
Do you have any children?
No.
Are you married?
Yes,
How would you feel if somebody comes barging into your house?
I completely understand. Yes, ma'am.
That's why you need to pick up the phone and have the police do a welfare check.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication, anger management. There's to be no contact with Daniel Morales until you complete the anger management course. There's to be $500 fine that'll be probated, 40 hours of community service restitution, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. We can do a TAP evaluation out of custody follow recs. Field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Probation, is there anything else?
Okay.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off record. Here's the thing. When you're coming before me, you need to be honest.
Yes, ma'am.
Because let me just tell you what I was gonna do, because I was reading the report. I understand that emotions run high when you think maybe somebody's being physically abusive to your sister. I was going to give you the community service hours, and I was gonna say complete anger management, and you don't have any community service hours to do. But you were dishonest, so this is part of your punishment. You're doing community service hours. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We do have victim impact statement. The complainant did wish to be here, but could not, and so he did send me what he would like to say.
All right, we're off the record. You may proceed.
These series of actions robbed my family of peace within our home. It forced us to live on edge. It emotionally exhausted my then pregnant wife, and it almost lost the life of our son due to the stress she was under. However, I believe that one mistake shouldn't define the rest of your life, but now it's up to you to not let this mistake define who you are. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Maybe excuse you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Shannon Anderson. Who's the attorney for Shannon Anderson?
I'm present, Your Honor.
Okay, where are we on the 49 videos?
We have the videos, Your Honor.
Okay,
And we conferred with the state. We have an offer. My clients rejected the offer.
all right. Ms. Ferguson. This is gonna come back for a plea deadline date. And your plea deadline date is going to be November the 21st. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Once you sign the reset form, your excuse. And what page is Anderson on?
Page
Page what? 5, thank you. Mhm. Yeah. Since he's not here. I don't
You won't take an announcement, Your Honor, with our client in the bathroom, right?
No.
Yeah, okay. We'll just wait for him.
Deputy Laura, could you meet have now, and then everybody else, you have to be back at 1:30. Do not rush the court like, I just have this one thing. No. The cases that I have sitting here, this is what I'm taking. Then we're going to lunch. All right, Vincent McCray. You're in the center? I've never asked this before. How tall are you?
6'8".
6'8"? I'm just interested. All right, so you're up for jury trial.
And Judge, the state's not ready at this time.
All right, so unless you agree to the state's oral continuance, this is going to trial.
Okay, we're ready, Your Honor.
All right, so this is going to jury trial.
All right, Judge. Tender some paperwork, that's appropriate.
All right, thank you.
I'll just have him wait, Judge.
Yes. What page is that on, Norman?
Pick one, Judge.
All right. All right, who's here on Naomi Hernandez? All right, court is calling 2024 CR 6569, State of Texas versus Naomi Hernandez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jens for the state.
Arlene
Gay for the defendant.
And are you Ms. Hernandez? Counsel, have you received all of the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Is there an application?
No application.
Ms. Hernandez, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are not judged. State is going to proceed on the lesser included offense of assault bodily injury, family of a household member or household member. Additionally, the state is going to waive the repeat offender enhancement allegation.
Any objection?
No objection.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand the status? Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong one. Did you understand the status proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault family household member? That is a Class A misdemeanor. Range of punishment is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Yes. Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in, the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, she's assisted me.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do.
Ms. Hernandez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
According to the plea, there's 242 days in the Bexar County Jail. There's a $500 fine. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense is at the plea.
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea.
Yes.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have any such motions?
No such motions.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition? Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes.
All right. Then to the offense of assault, bodily injury, family, household, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor, the state will offer State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objection.
Have you had contact with the complainant?
We have, Your Honor.
All right. All right, you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Did you review the waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. We're asking that the court follow the plea bargain agreement. She, in fact, does have 242 days, which we confirmed.
All right, and what is happening with her mental health?
She is currently on her medication. She received treatment at the jail and through University Hospital.
Does she have a place to stay?
Yes, she does have a place to stay.
All right, and it's not with her mom, correct?
No, it's a separate deal.
All right, so this is what the court is going to do. The court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 242 days in the Bexar County Jail, give you credit for any time served. There's a $500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Caroline Ramirez or 5227 Hayton Drive or Juan Manuel Gonzalez. Once you've completed your treatment and everything is functional with you and you're stable, your attorney can come back to the court and I'll consider changing that order. The court will find that there's sufficient time to satisfy your judgment and the court will satisfy the judgment. Did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, if there's any issues where you can't find something with regards to your mental health or where to go, you can always come back to court and I'll help you with that, okay? All right, good luck to you. All right, we're taking our break. And everyone will need to be back at 1:30.
Very high.
It's okay, Judge. Yeah.